Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, welcome back. We are trying to get our guest on the line, and once we get him through, how we're going to do this, we will put him on. I'm talking about none other than the man we affectionately call Captain Blade, who is a security expert, and of course also former military officer. Captain Omar Aliyu is his name. He would have been in the studio, but unfortunately, he's not able to make it to the studio, so we'll get him on the phone. That being said, please call us on the numbers usually advertised: 0201-277-0993 and 0201-465-7190. I'm looking at 2 years of President Bola Tinubu's administration and national security. I don't know if my rant has would have already spoiled you. I don't want you to be affected or have your own mind. Call in and please be objective, okay? Because I would like to believe there are some areas that the president has done well in it, but he's not the one sending people to go kill person. So first of all, that's what I want to say. But secondly, that this is where we find ourselves today, where we headed or stopped at the paper review. So Tinubu 2, national security, a continuation of our conversation from last week, when we said Tinubu 2, we focused on the economy. We looked at the petrol subsidy removal policy, and don't forget, on May 29, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration clocked exactly 2 years in office. The evidence of that, of course, apart from the commissioning, the papers were all full, with congratulatory messages. So even if you were trying hard to miss it, you couldn't miss it. So the president clocked exactly 2 years in office. Nigerians reflected, and are still reflecting on the promises made and realities being faced by Nigerians. Last week, we highlighted new achievements of the President Bola Tinubu administration after 2 years in office, including, in the areas of economic reforms and revenue growth, in the areas of infrastructure development. You had the Minister of Work to reel out the projects that have been completed or begun this administration. You have social welfare and youth empowerment. For instance, the National Nigerian Education Loan Fund. You have security. You don't have my views on loans. You have security. These are areas that the government has been able to, achieve some things. We're able to look at the economic reforms and revenue growth at the time. I guess we had Ambassador Deola, Samuel Ilori, who I'm sure won't mind coming back for this particular topic, and also Mujib Jamil and Kelvin Emmanuel. All of them were here last week. So let's stay on security today. Now, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria recorded over 600,000 deaths. In fact, precisely 614,937 deaths due to insecurity between May 2023 and April 2024. That's almost 1 year. All right. They have not added 2025. Now, this figure was reported in the 2024 crime experienced and security perception survey. Includes fatalities from various forms of violence, such as insurgency, banditry, and communal clashes. Now, research indicates that the NBS has not released the data covering the period from May 2024 to April 2025. Therefore, the total number of insecurity-related deaths for the full 2 year span from May 2023 to April 2025, which covers basically President Tinubu's 2 years, remains unavailable. We're waiting for NBS. I'm sure they're working on it. But 2 years ago, when President Bola Tinubu took the oath of office on May 29, 2023, the president pledged to be a president for all, irrespective of the circumstances of history and political differences. Now, let's talk about security as we're talking. On May 29, 2023, during his inaugural speech, what did he say about security? Right there at the Aso Rock No, at the Eagle Square in Abuja. What did the president say? He emphasized that national security will be the foremost priority of his administration. He went on to acknowledge, ladies and gentlemen, that without security, neither prosperity nor justice could prevail. Go and play back the tape. Go and play back. This is what the president said, quote, security shall be the top priority of our administration because neither prosperity nor justice can prevail amidst insecurity and violence. That's what the president said. Continuing, quote, to effectively tackle this menace, we shall reform both our security doctrine and its architecture. We shall invest more in our security personnel, and this means more than an increase in number. We shall provide better training, equipment, pay, and firepower. End of quote. So, ladies and gentlemen, 2 years on, what's your assessment of President Tinubu's performance on security, national security, as president of Nigeria? Has he delivered on his promises? Has he delivered on the renewed hope agenda? All right, 020-127-70993, female line 020-1465-7190. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
99.3, good morning. Hello, are you there?
Hello, Mr. Kofi.
Welcome. Who do we have on the line, please?
My name is Olufela Lekan from Ifo in Ogun State.
All right, please go on.
This security issue is a drastic problem that requires a drastic solution. And all hands must be on deck. Number one solution, the way I feel is that all the senators, the governors, the House of Rep, all the representatives, they must come together and employ the local hunters and other people and train them very well. Train them very well. This thing is not that one should be taken with just like that. Then again, security one should be that all the herdsmen in that vicinity, they should be sent away. You know, all those herdsmen, they could be informants too. Maybe they are the one giving them information about the situation of the state. So they should send them away. And high security should be enforced. The hunters should be trained that if they see anybody strange coming in, they should be doing like vigilante something from morning till afternoon, so another shift, afternoon till night, another from night till midnight,
right.
Like that,
right.
With guns in their hand. That's the way I see it. If we are not serious, the thing will persist.
All right.
That was.
Thank you very much for your time. Don't forget, you can also call on WhatsApp. I've been trying to get across to our guest. I have to be a bit of an octopus here in the studio, if you know what I mean. So WhatsApp is also available for us to give our assessment of the Tinubu administration's performance as far as national security is concerned. WhatsApp number is 080-9597-5805. 080-9597-5805. Please feel free to call us on WhatsApp. 080-9597-5805 is the WhatsApp number. You can also send a voice note of 1 minute or less. Very glad to play a voice note if you do send it. All right, this is a voice note. Let's listen to this person.
Mr. Kofi Bartels, and this is Chinedu from Jebode.
Right.
My heart goes out to the families of the Kano State contingents to the National Sport Festival in Ogun State. You just read now from your reports that the car that the bus veered off a bridge, and that the bus was not a brand new bus, and it has been having issues, And I was thinking it was a head-on collision, but from what you read now, it said it veered off a bridge and capsided. And I'm just painting a picture in my head whereby those that perished, remember they probably had head injuries, spinal fracture, maybe internal bleeding from maybe.
Okay, Jerry, we moved on from that. I'm so sorry. I have to leave it at that. We moved on to some other thing. I'm trying to get across to Captain Blade. As you heard, I was calling with the studio line. I guess it's been some sort of challenge getting the call out from here. So I'll use my personal line and see if it'll work. All right, Captain Blake, good morning. Sorry, it took us a while to get across to you because of one or two technicalities. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. Very well, thank you. First of all, happy Salah in advance, and trust you're enjoying the spirit of the season. Please give us your scorecard of 2 years of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's excellency, as far as national security is concerned, sir.
Looking at 2 years of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government so far brings to mind a second book I read when I was in secondary school. I think it was Hyper-Equency, or is it who wrote 1 Week, 1 Trouble? That's the title of the book. So we've actually seen, on an average, one security or insecurity challenge, every week since post-inauguration, the Bola Ahmed Tinubu tenure. The challenges were not any different from where Buhari left them. And I think it was largely informed by this tendency of President Muhammadu Buhari to be very aloof to wise counsel. Unfortunately, the Bola Ahmed Tinubu regime inherited everything. And from the moment he came in, the promises he made as per security or insecurity, if you like, have not really seen any headways yet. What we see has no correlation with what we hear. What we could call expenditure is not matching expectations. And generally speaking, there is what I call a general feeling, an air of uncertainty. People are living on their wits now, not because there is any security protocols in place to save them if they get into a situation. So that's just it, as far as I'm concerned.
All right. We've had spent considerable time today looking at what's happening in Benue State. But before we get there, let's look at what the National Bureau of Statistics has said in its report released some time ago on how many persons have died from May 2023 due to insecurity, from May 2023 to April 2024, 614,937 deaths. Is this due to lack of effort by the nation's security apparatus and the federal government in general, or it is due to the doggedness and the stubbornness of these personnel, these persons who are engaged in insecurity, either through insurgency, banditry, communal clashes, and so on and so forth, terrorism?
Kofi, honestly speaking, the vectors of our insecurity situation are not even dogged by the mere sense of the word. What I mean is, if you took this same threat, if you took these same non-state actors to other countries in Africa, they will pocket them in seconds. Yes. But let me tell you where the real challenge is per se. It's not because enough is not being done. No. It's not because there is not enough money to procure what is needed. No. The challenge is, as I have said variously on different media fora, when you try to catch tadpoles with a fishing net, you are just wasting your time.
What do you mean by that?
Beautiful. You see, when you handle national security as a federalist, exclusively, what do we call it, exclusive list now? You are joking, not in Nigeria. No, you are using fishing nets to catch tadpoles. You see, we cannot macro-manage security, if I could put it that way. We have to micro-manage security. Yes. We have to begin. If politics is local, security can be local. When it's time for these politicians to get what they want, they come across with selective advantages. I've had politics is local. I've seen people who can't even communicate properly, win elections and lead because politics is local. Fine. Then security too is local, or let me say insecurity too is local.
Captain, are we not now creating more excuses for the insecurity in the country? Because I mean, even the president had said in some months ago, responding to the crisis in Benue State, that he has told the governor of Benue State what to do, or is it Plateau State what to do, and basically, putting the blame at the doorstep of the governor of Benue State or Plateau State, whichever it is. So are you not also creating more excuses for the federal government and national security apparatus?
No, I'm not. What I'm simply saying is, I don't see how the president can love the people of Benue State and Plateau State more than their governors. May the soul of Aketi rest in peace. We saw the man in Aketi stand and protect his people.
That's former governor of Osun State.
Any governor who is sitting there. Sorry?
Yeah, that's former governor of Ondo State. Is that who you're talking about?
Exactly. You saw the man in him stand. Where are the men in Plateau State and is it Benue State governors? They want to be politically correct. So, as I told you, what we see does not match what we hear. I've had access to Benue State. I've had access also to Plateau State. Short of I don't know what to do anymore, so I just fold my hands and look at them. These are men who come out and say things they don't mean. I don't see how somebody is going to sit in a state house and have people come and play around in his state and walk away, and he's looking at the president and waiting for the president to tell him what.
So you're saying in 2 years of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for the insecurity and number of persons who have died as a result of terrorism, insurgency, banditry, even communal clashes, you're saying that it is all because of the state governors who have failed to do something about it?
It's simple. Listen, let me tell you something about security. You see, security is just taking to that proverb, they say charity begins at home. Okay? There is no way you can secure a home, okay, if the people in the house are not secure. And from the home you come to the street, and from the street you go to the ward, and on and on and on. All these varieties, they just throw in poor people up and down. The things are crystal clear. I mean, the late Akere State was not in Gabon. It was here in Nigeria. And when it got to a stage, you saw what he did, and the heavens didn't fall. They didn't fall.
Okay.
So here we are. The people are being told the federal government pushes it to the state pushes it to the federal government, and at the end of the day, what do you have? All expenses expended, all expenditures.
So Captain Blade, before we go for a break, I'm still waiting for your assessment, your score of President Bola Tinubu's 2 years in president as far as national.
You asked for an assessment or a scorecard, so I gave you my brief. If you wanted me to give him a score, over how many will you be asking?
Well, you may not score him, but you can just give me: has he fared well? Has it been excellent? Is it been poor? Has it been average? How has he fared?
Listen, let me tell you straight on, nothing has changed. It's just as it was when he met it. If you doubt it, take a stroll with your car and try to drive through any region in this country. Just take a stroll.
All right.
As in, you don't use your leg, drive through, then you will get what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You see, let me tell you something.
Captain, please hold the thought. We have a commercial break up in a few seconds, and when I come back, you tell me what you want to say. Appreciate it. For those of you listening, please stay. We'll take a call when we come back. All right.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
Remember the name. Arenax Plus. When malaria strikes. Arenax Plus. Remember the name. Arenax Plus. When you feeling down, Arenax Plus.
Arenax Plus is the name to remember when you need to beat malaria with ease. Arenax Plus is a combination of artemether and lumefantrine and is effective in the treatment of malaria in adults and children. So the next time malaria strikes, remember the name. Arenax Plus beats malaria with ease.
If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see a doctor. Available in pharmacies near you. Arenax Plus is a quality product from Swiffer.
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know? Did you know? Your dose of facts we bet you never knew. Right here on Nigeria Info 99.3.
Did you know that football players speak so much because exercise increases the amount of protein in saliva? When you exercise, the amount of protein secreted into the saliva increases. A protein mucus named MUC5B makes your saliva thicker when you are exercising, which makes it more difficult to swallow, so we tend to spit more. It may occur during exercise because we breathe through our mouths more. MUC5B could activate to stop our mouth from drying out.
Another piece of the puzzle now revealed. Keep questioning, keep listening. Only on Nigeria Info 99.3.
Is that Alfie playing football in the rain?
It's Toby Chio.
My goodness. When did he grow up?
That's it with kids, so.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. NanKid 4. Nourish your child's potential.
Oh, Kate! I'm running late!
Told you it's gonna be a busy day for me. I've got to renew my vehicle insurance, make claims, and a few other stuff at my insurance company.
Abba, is that why you're in a rush? Come on! Life has become a lot easier. Haven't you heard of the Eunice?
What's so called?
Eunice!
Yes, Eunice is a virtual assistant chat box that allows you to interact and do business with the company anywhere and any time of the day at your convenience. Send hi to Eunice on WhatsApp on 0913-618-1656 or 0908-779-2955. Do much more with ease. Buy insurance, review your insurance policy, make inquiries, and lots more. Visit www.unitrustinsurance.com for more details. Unitrust Insurance Company Limited. The quiet confidence.
We're going beyond borders and breaking limits in the second half of the year at Accelerate Conference 2025. Themed Shine, Unleash His Glory. Happening from the 4th to the 8th of June at the Pistis Conference Center in Lagos, Nigeria. Hosted by the global lead pastors of the Elevation Church, Pastors Godman and Bola Akilabi. Joined by an incredible lineup of ministers. Apostle Joshua Selman, Pastor Yemi Davids, Pastor Jerry Eze, Reverend Sam Oye, and Apostle Emmanuel Iren. With soul-stirring worship led by Minister Dunsing Oyekon. You can join the experience from anywhere in the world. On YouTube at Elevation NG. In watch parties and experience centers across Nigeria, Manchester, USA, Canada, Brussels, and beyond. For more information, visit elevationg.org/accelerate or follow us across socials at ElevationNG.
Hello, Mrs. Martins.
Yes. Oh, Mrs. Johnson, how may I help you?
Junior's body temperature is high and he's complaining about headaches and body aches.
Not to worry. Get Bruston and suspension.
Okay, ma. I'll call you back.
Bruston and Suspension for Children is a sweet tasting brand of ibuprofen which provides relief against toothache, pains, and fever in children after 30 minutes.
Hello, ma. Oh, Junior, stop that.
Is everything okay, Mrs. Johnson?
Yes, ma. Junior is fine now. In fact, Junior, sorry, ma. I'll call you back.
Brustin and Suspension for Children. Always take the product after meal. If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor. A quality product from Rambaxay.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. Still a review of the midterm review of the performance of President Bola Tinubu from May 29, 2023. Sorry, I almost said 1999 to May 29 this year. Our guest is still with us, and we're taking your thoughts on the numbers we usually advertise: 0201 277 0993. 0201-277-0993 and 0201-465-7190. 0201-465-7190. That's strictly exclusive to our female listeners. Captain Umar Blade Aliyu, security expert, joins us on the phone. Now, Captain Blade, you've said that things are still the same. Like Tupac Amaru Shakur said, as far as insecurity in the country is concerned, the way it was under Tinubu's Buhari is the same way it is. Are you therefore saying that the president hasn't? That sounds like you're giving Mr. President an F9, Captain Aliyu.
Got it towards you, like Kofi. But what I've just told you is that's changed. You see, let me tell you something you need to take cognizance of today. Passing through Abuja, you're going to see what you call serious population density. Places that were forlorn before now are now quite expensive to live in. Every inch of Abuja is being taken up. Do you know why? Let me tell you parts of the reason why. There are many reasons, but I'll give you one from my dashboard. There are a lot of people who stay in that comfort zone called Abuja who won't dare go home in their retirements. You get why? Because it's not safe. Okay? It's not safe. If you are a senior public servant, a senior military officer, a senior whatever, wisdom now is to get yourself a place in that town if you are serving there. The reason being, if you dare end up in your village anywhere in Nigeria today to spend your retirement, then you are arriving with a ransom value. You are arriving, yes. The chances that you are going to get kidnapped or something happens to you that will require maybe even your classmates to raise the money to free you. General Maharaj is a recent example. These are indicators we do read at my consults. We don't believe in all these analysis. You sit down and start joining numbers together. No, we try to triangulate between what is heard, what is seen, and what is on ground. So window dressing doesn't work there. We go out and get a pulse shot of what is happening down there, right there, ground zero on the streets. So if you go to Abuja today, go to places like Mararaba, go to places like Nyanya, go to all those places where nobody really wanted a plot of land. Go and try to get accommodation or buy land there. And you understand what I'm trying to say. The comfort zones are shrinking, even in virtually all the states in Nigeria. What you need to observe now is everybody is running to the state capital. And the more we run away from these things, the wider they spread. And the only way you can catch tadpoles is to use commensurate fish nets. We cannot macromanage security. We have to micromanage it. Okay? Right. And the solutions are there. Some are even so sensitive, I wouldn't want to mention them out here. But I tell you, I have done my utmost in the last 12 years to make sure those who are concerned, including Mr. President, get this solution. Whether they see it or they do not see it is not the issue. What they do about it is what the issue is.
All right.
And right now, if you ask me, I'll tell you, the things have remained just the way they are. Period.
Okay. Let's pick some calls here. We have our next listener, 99.3. Good morning. Hello. Who do we have, please?
Good morning. Kofi is Uche calling from Aja.
Uche, Captain, can you hear him?
Good morning, Uche. How are you today?
I'm fine. Oh, yeah. For the insecurity, it's something else. So it's 0 over 1,000. That's what Tinubu scored. 0 over 1,000, not even over 100. It's very, very terrible. What I know is that people should defend themselves. That's the only way. Because when they defend themselves, that's when the government will come in. And number one, the solution is to ban open grazing. When you ban open grazing, nobody can come to your land or to your farm to kill you. I don't know why they are romancing this open grazing. Even right from Tinubu, Buhari to Tinubu, they don't want to ban open grazing. Then ban open grazing, they will know who are in the bushes. That is it. So I don't know why they don't want to ban open grazing.
All right, thank you.
But that's a major problem.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you calling in. We have next listener, 99.3. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Kofi.
All right. Welcome. Name, location, and contribution, please.
Good morning to Captain Blade as well. This is Mrs. Obozi. Captain Blade, I want to commend you for the beautiful insights you bring to the table whenever you're on air. First off, my question to you this morning is, what's your take on the presidency jettisoning military expertise and employing the use of forest guards? Because to me, I feel the military can nip this in the bud, this insurgency in the bud, if given the desired aura, the desired backup. But they are telling them, go and chase these people away, kill them. But they are still radicalizing them at the end of the day. And now you've been clamoring on air that you've been bringing issues to nip this in the bud. Nobody's listening to you. Do you think this government is intentional about ending insurgency, or this is mere lip service? Thank you very much for all you do. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. All right, Captain Blade, please, over to you. Answer for her.
Can you please? I didn't get her question there. Can you just summarize it?
Yeah, she's asking if you think the government is intentional and means what it says in nipping security or insecurity in the bud, or do you think it's just lip service they're paying to the issue?
Well, there is a template of which I base certain of my conclusions or my deductions, and it's simple. The simple thing is simply. If you keep talking to a situation and the situation gets bolder, even as you say so, and even as you talk to it and propose solutions, then the chances are high you are complaining to the problem. Now, I'll tell you something about this ban or no ban on open grazing. There are certain indicators, there are certain permutations we've tried to triangulate. And the more we go in, the stronger they sing. The first has to do with an international, what I want to call awareness for this acceptance of genetically modified crops. And we know that GMOs have their upsides and downsides. And it is maybe very likely here that international actors, people with vested interests, are sponsoring what you see today as the farmer-header clash, so as to see to it that those areas that are food baskets and are not open to GMOs are destabilized so they cannot farm. And they come to a forum where these things are usually, highlighted. So
is it that such information, if there's truth to it, Captain Blade, is unknown to the nation's intelligence architecture?
Be it known or unknown will now depend on the positions of our politicians to the sponsors of this particular, what I call, agenda. And the reason is simple. You know very well that the average elite, the average politician, I use average because I don't want to generalize, have interests abroad. When I say interests, there could be financial, there could be economic, some even have citizenship. Okay? And where these things are held as some kind of coercive options to twist their arms, they really have no choice. Let me give you a typical example. Kofi, if you were sitting in another country and anytime I'm ill, I have to come to you to patch me up, that in itself becomes a very viable option for those who own the country in which your hospital is sitting to control me. It's not simple.
Right. Simple. Okay. But Mrs. Oboli asked a question which I would like to re-echo or to repeat. Is the president, from his actions so far, she's asking, does he mean what he says, or is it just about paying lip service? Does he have the political will to tackle insecurity, or is it about just saying what Nigerians need to hear and not going out to tackle this insecurity?
That's exactly as I that for me, it's not about what he says or does not say. It's about triangulating what he says, what we see, and what is on ground.
So when you triangulate it, what is the conclusion?
Nothing has changed.
All right, Captain Blade. Okay, so Captain, I want to read, before I pick the next set of calls and read the messages, I want to read from the president's speech or statement on his 2 years in office. He talked about security. He says, for our administration is committed to security and the safety of our people. For our government, protecting our people and their peaceful way of life is the utmost priority. And he even said it during his inaugural speech, in 2023, that was his top priority. He says, quote, since I assumed our country's leadership, this is to mark his 2 years in office, our administration has improved collaboration among security agencies, increased intelligence-driven operations, and better ensured the welfare of our armed forces and security personnel. Captain Lee, do you find this to be the case? That the president has improved collaboration among security agencies, has increased intelligence-driven operations, and has better ensured the welfare of the nation's armed forces and security personnel? Three things. Is that true?
Let me answer you quite honestly, Kofi. Collaboration inter-armed forces, honestly, is none of my business. That is the business of service chiefs. So I won't speak for them. I don't really know whether they are cooperating or they are, or they are not cooperating. It's not, I'm just looking from the outside in. Recall, I'm no longer in service, so I speak for them. What I do is, I go to the bottom line. Okay, what is the bottom line? Collaboration given, expenses and expenditures increased, welfare improved. What is the bottom line? And that bottom line is what I'm telling you. Jump into your car and take a cruise. Ride from Lagos to Moda and back. I think that is a more astute or a more sincere way of looking at it. If you don't want to go northwards, go down southward and back.
All right. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu. Has he been a game changer to take, and are you confident, looking at 2 years of Tinubu, that he, being National Security Advisor, will take Nigeria out of the doldrums as far as security is concerned? What's your assessment of Ribadu's performance in the Tinubu administration 2 years on?
2 years on, I have my reservations. I really do have my reservations. And being NSA, I'd love to give him another 2 years. Let's see how he fares. Let me tell you why. When General Monguno retired was NSA, I did something similar in your studios. You see, as the NSA, it was when he was appointed, I also said in your studios that as an NSA, you have to be three things in one. You have to be a lion, you got to be a fox, and you also have to be a peacock. He has been neither of the three. I see him, when I see Mr. President, I see him react rather than respond when people bring about national security issues. I'm looking at 2 years into a 4-year tenure and saying, benefit of doubt, let's give him 2 more years and see where or how he would have fared under his principle.
All right. Okay, let's get back to, thank you, Captain. We'll get back to our listeners and then I'll come back to you shortly. But looking at the figure of 614,937 deaths so far recorded between May 2023 and April 2024, we can look at also the geographical breakdown of the killings, so deaths of Nigerians from insecurity related incidents. Still, according to this report from the National Bureau of Statistics, the regional breakdown is as follows. Northwest recorded the highest number of incidents at about 14.4 million cases. The North Central reported roughly 8.77 to 8.8 million incidences. Captain. Then it's followed by the Southeast, which had the lowest amount of cases with about 6.1 to 6.17 million reported cases. Now, when we talk about kidnapping, the report also indicates that nearly 15.3 million households, that's about 34.3% of all households in Nigeria, experience at least one crime, with a large number of these incidences being kidnappings. In total, 2.235 million or 2,235,954 kidnapping cases were recorded, and as a result, approximately 2.23 trillion naira, that's approximately $1.44 billion was paid in ransom, Captain, in 2023-24. 1.44 billion US dollars, that's 2.23 trillion naira. The average ransom payment was about 2.67 million naira per incident. So for those who say can't go to their villages because they have a price tag on their head if they go, that's how much they might end up paying. So let's get back to the phone lines and we'll listen to what our listeners have to say. Tinubu at 2, our guest says nothing has changed under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who, when he was inaugurated, said fighting insecurity will be his top priority. 020127709993. Our guest is still with us. 99.3, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, who do we have, please?
This is Citizen Gabriel from Lower.
Welcome. Please go on.
My greetings to Captain Blair. Anytime he comes on the air, I'm always delighted to hear him. It's unfortunate that everybody that has spoken, nobody even give a credit to Tinubu. If you resign, he is not doing anything. He has nothing to offer. That's my take. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it calling in. 99.3, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Kofi.
Welcome. Your name, location, and contribution, please.
Can I have an anonymous, please?
Yeah, sure. Where are you listening from?
Around Mangudu.
All right, go on.
Kofi, please, if you have your way, just around these soldiers, ask them one question. How long will it take them to flush out these bandits? They will tell you in less than 30 days. There is no soldier. I'm very close to senior officers, soldiers that want to remain anonymous. I know a lot of. They will tell you in less than 30 days. So the government is not willing. If you hear stories, Kofi, you will not sleep.
What kind of stories?
The captain has said it all. Nothing has changed.
What kind of stories are you talking about that will not allow us sleep? I'm interested.
There are things you cannot say on air. I beg you, please. Can't say I can't say. Kofi, I beg. This country, if the government is willing, give these soldiers. They don't need those too many drones and everything to look for these people and take them down. Now they don't need it. They don't need any drone. They don't need that. Our soldiers are very capable. The politicians are not willing.
All right.
Everything is coming from the table of the politicians.
Okay, thank you. You might send me those stories on WhatsApp so I can understand where you're coming from. Captain, you listened to the last caller. I said 30 days is what the officers tell him they need to flush these guys out.
you, that there are vested interests involved here, and when you see a problem persist, despite offering solutions pro bono, then you are complaining very likely you are complaining to the problem. You see, that is just it. You're talking about kidnaps and all the monies that have been taken. And what I'm trying to tell you is that, okay, what exactly is the law saying on kidnapping now? Have we made the law? Have we passed certain laws that will strike the fear of kidnaps into a potential kidnapper? No. I recall when President Muhammadu Buhari was still president, somebody was talking about banditry, somebody was talking about terrorism, and he mentioned insider involvement. And I asked the president pointedly, Your Excellency, where is the law on saboteurs and sabotage? Have you ever heard that law? Have you ever heard any politician talk about it? Asking where the law on sabotage and saboteurs was in Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari's loyal brothers and sons came and heckled me and picked me up. But I'm still here today, and the problem is there. But then I still ask again, who are these saboteurs, and where is the law on sabotage and saboteurs? Every day we hear how people sell ammunition to XYZ, how people come with helicopters and spacecrafts and drop I mean, what is sabotage? Who is a saboteur? Have we gone into that? We see it every day as plain as daylight, Kofi. So at a point, you see us trying to use Babangida to encapsulate, let me borrow President Ahmed Tinubu's balance, where he was talking about turning a rotten situation to a bad one. The situation is rotten, and we're just managing to call it bad. That is not rotten yet, it's still bad. But we all know, even me who sits here speaking to you, there is no guarantee that before this evening, right, I will not be kidnapped.
Okay. Captain, before we're done, I want you to please speak to some reports that have come up in fact, recent weeks and months, saying or linking the outbreak of conflicts across Africa to the exploitation of natural resources. If you come home to Nigeria 2 weeks ago, the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Raw Materials Research and Development Council, Professor Nanye Lugo Ike Monso, said that security challenges and conflicts being witnessed in some parts of Nigeria are largely caused by excessive export of unprocessed raw materials from Nigeria. I want you to speak on that, please, briefly.
Yes, you see all manner of people coming into the country to come and dig up anything you can think of. In fact, at a point, someone sent me a clip, Kofi. They were carrying clay, laterite. They were scratching out laterite because certainly there is something that laterite contains which cannot be extracted here. So even our ordinary sand is a resource to somebody somewhere. And then, why do these people thrive? I have seen police officers ceded to these people to protect them. So, if you see them doing the things they are doing, it's because they probably have official backing from those who should not actually back them. And that brings again back that question I asked President Muhammadu Buhari. Your Excellency, where is the law on sabotage and sabotage? Those who sabotage our armed forces, those who sabotage our government, those who sabotage our communities, those who make sure that our children don't even get any education. That's sabotage. The reason why probably that law is not getting any oxygen is because those who have the right to pass such bills may be in cahoots.
All right. The reason I'm not asking you what should be done is you've said it over and over again, and I'm sure the president and the authorities know what to do. And so, I mean, to not sound like a broken record, we'll leave it at that. I want to crave your indulgence to allow me by from the reserve. I'll come back and say goodbye to you. All right. Please tell me. Up next, commercial. We'll be right back.
Before you enter for Lagos, make sure they get the right stamp of approval.
No be every facility na her farmer register, but the ones wey them they guarantee safety and proper care.
You need your code for their entrance, and you go know.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.